Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of Curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
I have an idea.
Brett, come on man, I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know guys, I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait, do you smell that?
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo! Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome to Martensville, Saskatchewan. This week's host to the Grand Slam Canadian Open Tier 2 action. We have a match going on today between Kevin Cooey and Magnus Ramsfjell of Norway. We also have another men's match over on Sheet 4 and a couple of ladies' matches on 1 and 2, all of which can be found in different forums across YouTube and the Stadium Curling Group, Curling Stadium Group. So, welcome to Sheet 3. I'm Gord Copperthorpe. I'm here with my good friend Rory McCusker. Rory, say hello.
Hey, Gord. Yep, doing good. Martensville has been looking forward to this one for a long time. Ice maker James Gordon and Curling Stadium, propagator. He's been looking forward to this one for a while, so it should be a great week of curling out here.
I'm also kind of looking forward to it. It's part of the newer Grand Slam profile, right? So it's not just Tier 1's the only thing you see. They do Tier 2 here, and if I get it correct, the winner of this gets to go up and play at the Tier 1 on Sunday. Something of that new format, as Cooey tries to biff it.
Quite a prize. Getting a berth at the Tier 1, super high strength of field. You get one win there, that's going to boost your world curling ranking pretty considerably. So it's a massive prize these teams are playing for.
Absolutely. And earlier this year, they did a similar thing for the U25s in Alberta, and having been there coaching one of them, I can say at the players' level, it was a very exciting new opportunity. So kudos to the Grand Slam Tour for some new innovation.
Yeah, and you'll notice it doesn't feel too much like a Tier 2 really at all, because we've got some very recognizable names playing in this event and in this feature game. So Team Cooey, with Aaron Sushinsky checking lead stones here. Am I seeing that correctly?
I was just going to say that looked an awful lot like fellow Calgarian Aaron throwing lead. Also looks like they're short of body. So we've got Aaron, Tyler Tardy, and Kevin playing against Magnus Ramsfjell.
Yeah, so that's a super cool lineup. Very interesting lineup. We're going to see how that progresses.
That's not something you see too often. This level of team with only 3 people playing.
Yeah, just I base this on absolutely nothing, only my own observation. I'm just going to set it on split view here as I get my cameras figured out. Leads almost never miss time. You're almost always missing a back end member, maybe a second. Leads are such an important part of each team's identity. You just don't see them miss games very often. So that's a little bit of a throw for me.
I hear you. I'm going to challenge what viewers we have today. Every time we screw up at who's throwing because it's 3-3-2, put it in the comment box and feel free to laugh at us, because I'm guaranteed to do it wrong at least once.
Yeah, I'm hiring a scoreboard operator for $6 for this game to do the rocks for me and figure out who has hammer. Because, when it's a mixed lineup, you don't quite know. I guess we haven't really talked about Team Ramsfjell yet. This is an Olympic team. They'll be at Cortina, Italy in February of this year. If you don't know them, I don't blame you. They don't get a lot of TV time, let's say, but they've been Grand Slam competitors for the last few years, making quarterfinals at a few. I don't think they've made a semi yet. That's very Wikipedia-able. I guess I could check that out. But, sons of Olympic level curlers on this team. I don't know exactly whose son is whose dad is who, but, experienced, knowledgeable, really capable and athletic team that tours a lot, especially in the fall here in the cash spiel season. So if you don't know Team Ramsfjell now, it's worth getting to know them, because you'll be seeing them this February.
Well, hopefully they put on a good match against Cooey and we can all learn a little bit more about what they're capable of. So as you were saying, this is Tier 2, but the list of names is nothing to shudder at. We got 2 different pools going on. So Pool A has the likes of Carruthers and Cooey and Ramsfjell and Klima and Kartoff. And even in Pool B, there's a couple of big names in there that people might jump on, like Jordan McDonald, the kind of up-and-comer. We got a couple of the international teams, Yamaguchi down in there. So certainly not a list of names to scoff at. So I certainly encourage people to watch as many games as they possibly can. Like us, love us, click us, follow us, whatever you want to do. I'm certainly going to enjoy several games this week. All right, let's get to the game at hand for the time being. We got plenty of time to jibber jabber. Right now we have, call it a non-typical but yet still clean first end going. That's a little different than usual, eh?
It is. It was kind of a failed box play, I believe. So box play meaning each of the teams throw their first 2 rocks to their own spots. They don't really have anything to do with each other. One team's trying to fill the wing, one team's trying to fill the center line. So the box play has ended with Team Cooey throwing the third rock, or their third rock, the 5th rock of the end. So now we'll see some hitting. So it's just Ramsfjell trying to take things to the wing, Cooey trying to junk up the center. Becoming more and more standard.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to see throw one in the house and trade hits for 15 rocks. This one was a little bit fancier than that, but still should result in not a lot in play. Anyways, all right, so a little bit of a swing and a miss on the double takeout there. Still managed to get a second corner out of it. Useful in a rock or two. Cooey already pulling out the defensive markers, and he's going to rip some guards. This is Tyler Tardy throwing now the traditional third. I guess we shall call him the middle thrower in this match, or would you normally call it the second or the third? It's usually lead, middle, and skip, I suppose.
Yeah, it's I don't even know the right terminology. We just played a whole weekend with 3. That middle thrower, I think, is what I would like to call them. Is usually the story of the game. If that player can keep it together and pick up the slack, you're usually going to have a competitive game.
Well, Tyler put a little bit of a paper cut in the webbing of their own fingers there. Ray's taking out their own rock. So this is Ramsfjell looking to hit and roll under one of the guards, or I guess you might call that one guard. Rolling across to the other side. Not quite the weight to go that far of a distance, but takes the red one out.
You hope for as you set up the box play and ignore those rocks down the middle. You're kind of hoping, okay, at some point mid-end, we'll have to clean these up and try to drag play over to the wings. And looky here, we got 4 red rocks in the corner and 3 yellow rocks in play, none of them in dangerous positions. So it's definitely advantage Ramsfjell early on here.
Tardy looking for the crosshouse double. Kind of swings and misses on that one a little bit as well. Would have been nice to keep the shooter around. You never want your opponents to have a free-for-all to do whatever they wish. This is quickly turning into what you might call a junior deuce. The team with hammer splitting the rocks as even and far apart as you can, and the defender hoping for a mistake to make a double. Funny thing here is it's always a perceived advantage to the team trying to score because all you got to do is keep them spread out. But it's actually trickier than just hit things. You can make 2 out of 4 hits still reasonable, whereas a 2 out of 4 draw would be an absolute fail. So it's a little bit more of a stalemate than people give it credit for.
Totally agree. And especially early game, especially first end, you're thrown on paths that probably weren't really worked in during practice. You know, the likelihood of you guessing wrong or your sweepers guessing wrong on draw weight out there is pretty high, even for a good team. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, good point, you, Gord. I totally agree.
And yet they threw perfectly, split house even. So good draw there. Fun little fact for people who are a little newer to the game. Inside out, especially early in the game, tends to run about a quarter second heavier, to your point, a different path. Often catches people by surprise.
And then another good point there, mid-game, it kind of goes reverses. It it becomes quicker than your normal 4-foot draw path. That's all curling is at the end of the day, especially at this level, is just, 4 people per team, 3 people in Cooey's case today, just constantly learning, observing the ice. And whoever knows the ice better by the 5th, 6th, 7th end, usually the team that wins the game.
4 brains working together to be one smart one. I like it. All right, Ramsfjell looking to ignore that red one in the back. Could have went after if they wanted to, saying, hey, we're doing this junior deuce thing.
Yeah, the later in the end, the longer and longer it creeps towards skip rocks. It's like gets a little more likely. So with hammer, you get more and more confident that it might even work out.
Sweepers seem to like this one. Not working too hard, but not leaving it alone. That's usually a good sign of pretty darn close. Certainly far enough and flat enough that no one would take that double on. So if you're Cooey, which way do you go with this one?
Just hoping to set up a double on the next one. However you think you can easily achieve that.
I kind of like what Aaron was thinking there. Just get them closer to create an angle. Because to your point, you just need them with some stagger. Their first one, you would argue they rolled too far because, well, Ramsfjell never went after it. So there is no angle.
Yeah, it's worth thinking about, like, is being shot right now important if you're Cooey? I think the answer is no. But if it is, then you have to address the one on the forefoot.
I feel like he tapped hit and roll away, which to your point would leave him second. Certainly brings the one in the back out. So now, all right, there you go. Prove me wrong. Aaron's sweeping that side, meaning long roll towards the other yellow. Now, Kevin's no stranger to the fireball, so this one should have some giddy up to it.
Yeah, we got Cooey's out turn. Used to be the most lethal weapon in all of curling.
Tyler trying to work it over. What's he got? Oh, just a hair thin. Certainly had enough gas to it. Needed about, I don't know, half-inch more.
Yeah, that was a bomb. That was not short on weight.
Fireball.
Good news is, even if Ramsfjell buries this one, you still have an open one to hit. You're giving up two no matter what. So I think that was Cooey's thinking there. May as well go for it now where it's even a little bit there.
Sure. And the nice thing here for Ramsfjell is even if he's partly showing, if Cooey was to go after it, he would never be able to get shot under the guard. So something will be wide open. Or a draw. Yep, good advantage here. All right, this is Magnus's first, being escorted down by his front end of Bendik Ramsfjell, and I believe it's Gote, hard to say. We'll go with Gote Nepstad. The third, we might as well throw out there, is Martin Sessaker.
They've been on it the whole way,
sweeping. I got it all mucked up. They got the lead holding broom, I guess. That's fair.
That's indicative of really good ice conditions. They were sweeping that the whole way down, still managed to get it there. That's what the teams like to see.
The angle's flatter than the last one, so I can't imagine he'll go after that. That would be one heck of a lively house.
This is, but before I even overanalyze this is just one of those ones. Yeah, we're giving up two here. Like,
yeah,
if you're really trying to get picky, I mean, if you get as much nose as possible, I guess it makes Ramsfjell's next hit more difficult. But really, at this level of curling, you're just thinking to yourself, okay, hats off. Here's your 2 points. I'll hit this one and see if you can stick around.
Good news first end. So giving up two in the first is manageable. A flop of like one rock to the right in front of your own red wouldn't be a terrible thing because then nose is out of the question. They got to roll a little bit. All right, Tyler escorting it down, trying to get a little bit more curl.
Oh.
Ooh, yay. That was
I like
inch away from disaster.
Camera's frozen on the left there before you start. Your brain starts glitching out there, home audience. They went for nearly the most perfect position they could. A little greedy, but it makes this a little harder, I suppose.
Yeah, it was either tuck a corner or go dead in front of your own red and hope they stuff it. So that was a nice shot to try to maximize the difficulty. All right, Magnus Ramsfjell here with the last shot of the end. Looking to just hit and stick this for his two. Slim risk of that back one. I don't think he can cross the face enough to worry about it. So we got Magnus Ramsfjell just kind of keeping it clean. Switching over, back and forth, looking good. Bang, plant. There's your 2. We'll be right back.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock.
If one team wants to play quick, yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We're in Martensville, Saskatchewan at the Grand Slam Canadian Open, the Tier 2 ranking, which of course is not indicative of the talent. We are watching Kevin Cooey versus Magnus Ramsfjell of Norway. Just for quick little updates, over on sheet 4 is Xiao Mingyu versus Takumi Maeda. And then there's also a couple of ladies matches over on sheets 1 and 2. We've got Isabel Warana versus Camden Baldick. There we go. And Kayla McMillan versus Nancy Martin. So lots of choices today. Thank you for joining us here on sheet 3. Lots of excitement and fun to be had. We saw Cooey make a couple of tiny mistakes and Magnus jump on it for an early 2, which brings us to the second end and Cooey having hammer. For those of you just catching up, Cooey's playing 3-handed today, so that's a bit of a rare and exciting change of events for people. If you're like me and like to see weird, quirky new things, welcome to sheet 3. Early on, we've got your box play setting up again. Center guard, corner guard, try to go around the center. Bit of a mistake there deep. And now Cooey trying to get his setup draw to the wing. You might say early advantage to Cooey. Plenty of opportunity to tie the match, but we're only 3-4 rocks into the end, so we'll see how it goes.
Kind of an elongated parallelogram looking box. So a little some minor misses is what that would indicate.
Well, if you ignore the Klingon at the back of the house, the other 3 look like textbook shots. So this is Norway's second, Bendik Ramsfjell, looking to improve on the position of their draw behind the guard. We, of course, are playing the 5-rock rule, so Cooey couldn't deal with the center guard right away. This is looking a lot better.
This 5th rock of the end ends up being a really interesting one. It's the last rock before the free guard zone expires. So if you chase something with it, it's usually something buried. So oftentimes it's better to just make your own shot instead of chase a tougher shot of the opponent. So I'm always interested to see what teams do in tie or near tie game scenarios like that.
Interesting little feature there. Cooey thinking that center guard is tight enough to the house to roll it in. Looks like an awfully thin piece to me sitting at the overhead.
Yeah, for sure it is. I guess the thinking is if you miss the top one, you might get the back one. No, not with that ice.
Well, I think he's playing freeze, and if he happens to chip the front one, he would roll in. I'm assuming that's the dialogue they're having. He's asking for Aaron to corner freeze this one, so see how it plays out. Tyler escorting it down. Switching to making it curl. It's got to be close. Nicely through the port. And in front of the yellow. Called and executed.
Yeah, well swept, for sure.
So Cooey throws a chop shot, taking away that center path. And now Magnus is looking to do the exact same thing. Do a little corner freeze to cut out all these red counters. Theoretically, you could peel a guard or you could go around the center again, but this is a nice way to take away Cooey's scoring power. Do you think the facility being an arena being a club instead of arena may detract some more complicated hitting?
Well, you mean like the ice conditions being slightly different?
Generally speaking, it's assumed that club ice is a little harder to predict than an arena sheet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, normally I'd say probably a little bit. James Gordon, who I mentioned before, manager and ice maker at Martensville, he's very familiar with large scale events with top teams in the world. Kind of prides himself on making near arena like ice conditions, and his tournaments reflect that. So I think very, very minimal. He's even got the black carpet and black foam out there, if you can see on the edges of the frame, to kind of simulate an arena look as well as a arena feel.
Excellent. Well, and I'm certainly not discounting his ice making abilities. 1.5 ends in, the ice has looked very predictable. Nice little shot there by Tyler to hit and roll back 4 foot. Best they could really do there, but it does open them up to a freeze or some sort of that play.
Yeah, I haven't really caught up my rocks here on the scoreboard, but you've got half the end gone for each team. So
and not a single rock out of play.
Yeah, exactly. So Team Ramsfjell, okay, they're playing a draw. You got to think if you're going to start blowing that up and bring that side 4 yellow back into play, it would have to happen now. But no, here they are playing a draw, going to the hole.
One of the things I've always appreciated about watching Kevin is he doesn't have a particular favorite. And he's been around long enough that he'll play smash and crash or wiggle, jiggle, and draw. So we're going with the latter right now, which certainly makes it all the more exciting.
Kevin's tactics seem to be very, and I appreciate this about him, opponent specific. He'll have certain top opponents he'll play a very, very certain type of way. And some of those ways include hitting everything in sight and blanking a ton of ends, just trying to keep Hammer as long as possible into the game.
A lot of risk
this game, though,
you might say, right?
Yeah, sure. This game, we're not seeing a lot of that. I think he's just kind of playing responsibly and playing with 3. If you can put pressure on early and more importantly, get your 2 guys that are throwing 3 rocks each really used to the weight early on with some tougher shots, that can pay off later in the game.
So they're playing a raise at this point without a ton of weight. And I appreciate that. Just because you're taking a rock from outside of the house into the house doesn't mean you need to break it in half. This is mostly about improving angles.
It's pretty darn good.
I would call that an excellent shot. You got 2 reds in the control zone. Sure, yellow is shot, but they're probably not very comfortable about that one little yellow back there. Magnus thinking through what it looks like now and what it might look like 3 rocks later. He seems very intrigued on his own rock in some manner. There's no real great double. You kind of at first shot think run that one red straight back, but the second one would just catch on that back yellow, so that's not much of an improvement. Yeah, that shot right there he's talking about. You could just push a red deep into the house and keep your rock out front.
Yeah, I think you need a yellow in between those reds somehow. He's talking about playing it with force right now. I'd be thinking about just freezing in the top 12.
Yeah, inside corner freeze of that one fully in the 8-foot wouldn't be a bad shot at all.
I think so. If you tap the yellow if you're red, or sorry, if you tap on the intern if you're red, your shooter's going to roll out a little bit. It's going to open up the intern draw path. I think the more threatening stone is that red top 8-foot, just touching the center line. Now, Magnus is talking about running this right now. I see no harm in just freezing to it, but we'll see if they can get rid of it one way or the other.
I would say the freeze is a more manageable, lower risk shot than a run back. So I'll agree with you there. The outcome is to get a yellow in the control zone, but you're trying to do it the harder way. But hey, if you do it right, what do we know?
Really nice sweep. Ends up almost exactly where he was tapping his broom. That's what separates an Olympic tier team from just a competitive tour team. I think Mowat has really made this a must for teams that want to compete in the top 10 level. You have to throw 6-foot run backs with 80-90% consistency. That's just got to be part of your game. Throwing that control weight, 10.5, manage it with sweeping. That just needs to be a reliable weapon. And so we just saw it there from Team Ramsfjell.
And got a brilliant roll out of it too. So not only did they remove a red, they've protected their yellow, and they've kind of cut off that little, the other red raisable rock. So that's kind of a 3-in-1. And that's, to your point, Olympic level curling. Cooey's sitting there thinking inverse. Okay. Can you not play off that lower yellow? Even if you're doing like hack board, little spin in.
Yeah, it doesn't get you shot though. I don't know what gets you shot right now, but
in that vein of thought, then do you not just open it up?
Yeah, I think you can get 3 yellows going if you run the yellow guard. So across the nose of the top 12 yellow. I think 3 of them go. 2 of them, at least 3 of them move is a better way of saying that. You need certain yellows to move in short order here.
And you're kind of thinking that little biter on the outside might come back to be the tying point.
I love this. So Cooey is talking about the aggressive play, and that's promoting the red. I don't know if they'll get enough curl to meaningfully push that forward though. Kind of got Tyler standing in the way, but yeah, it's an aggressive play. You keep 3 reds in the rings, meaningful reds in the rings if you play this kind of backline weight to hack weight intern punch on the red on the intern side. I think they both kind of roll to that 4-foot line where you might be able to use them. They'll be difficult to remove in any case. Playing it with some weight here.
Now the overhead suggests this bounces off and catches on the outside yellow, which would be totally fine.
I think that's how they're playing it. I think they're going to kind of see what happens with this thing.
It's got to be close. Aaron's on the sweep. Looking at a half rock.
Huh.
Ooh,
that was weird.
I'm going to throw that one in the bucket of bad. You lost two reds put in the corner to 1 yellow, and now yellow's about to throw. That definitely did not turn out as they were picturing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're treating it like a double peel, I guess that accomplished that. Like you got 2 rocks off of the center line, top 8 kind of region. I don't think those chips fell where they thought they were going to, though, for sure, Gord.
So now Ramsfjell has a bit of a choice. Do you ensure the force, or is there a way to set up a steal here? It's not a lot of protection for a steal. You could do the Colleen Jones Christmas tree if you wanted to. My gut feel was get the red one out of the house and force them one. I know you got lots of yellow in the house, but not a lot to hide behind. Looks like Magnus is kind of on the same page. If the red's not in the house, the red can't score. This ice kind of looks like, let's call it board weight. Plenty of curl, but to your point, really nice ice today. So across the face, punch it out, sit 4, and tell Cooey you're welcome to 1.
Pretty well. Now that's game management. Still, 2 rocks to come, looking real juicy for Team Ramsfjell. There's still definitely a steal in play here.
Looking to get a little bit more curl out of it. Bendick leaning into his broom. Looks like they're stuffing it. Yep, I heard the clunk. An unfortunate little error that could bring the point in.
He kind of treated the sweep really casually there. Like could have done one thing or another to avoid that. Didn't even really see them trying to carve it that hard. So,
well, even if he just played it straight and kind of picked it out sideways, the house is lively enough they could have done that as well. They kind of lazily swept it right into it, no stuff. So, Cooey looking for a very similar shot here. Cross the nose a little bit, push the yellow just past the red and roll under the guard. And suddenly, to your point, you're looking at 2, possibly even 3. It's amazing how fast you can go about talking about stealing to possibly scoring 2s and 3s.
Yep, for sure.
All right. Cooey looking for, again, board weight style hit here. His patented little mini flip.
Which part of the Cooey slide is that? The mini flip?
Yeah, the little cock at the back. The Neto and Cooey remnants of the backswing days.
Yeah, the half lift.
Yeah, the timing mechanism.
Okay, line looks excellent.
Oh, it's going to go over a little too much, but freezes beautifully on that other yellow.
I'm going to call that really good.
Yeah, I'm going to call that an excellent shot. I was thinking he was looking to get the yellow one out, but he's smarter than me and just simply made sure he was shot and not removable.
Mm-hmm. I guess there's 2 ways to do it, Gord. Just like a 3/4 berry, like little roll, or that longer, sharper roll that he ended up getting.
Yep. Brilliant shot there. So Ramsfeld's just looking to over curl this guard enough to put another corner on there, because then it'll be the same kind of thing. Hard to remove because that goofy little yellow thing at the back's a catcher for anything coming off that side. Getting into pressure shots fast and furious early in this match. All right. Anything 3/4 or more buried, preferably cornering on Cooey's, makes for a tricky little shot for Kevin. Not going to call it light. Can't be more than T-line.
Looking a little hot to me, yeah. Oh, little flip at the end. No sweeping required.
Unassisted corner freeze like he's practiced it all week. And not a lot, Kevin. I don't know. Do you think you could get 3 yellows moving?
Moving, yes. How do you save your shooter, I guess?
There's not a lot of that yellow to work with.
I mean, if it was for the win, Gord, you could run the corner, that one that Tyler's tapping right now. Even that stuff's pretty good, I think. But
does that yellow clip the other yellow on the way by for a quad?
For sure. It might stuff it straight on is the problem.
This is fair. Because you could theoretically run the front one back and get 5 different yellow rocks moving. That'd be a bit of a circus shot.
Right now, I think the top button yellow is stuffing pretty good on that back 4 yellow, no matter where you hit it, really. So I don't think it makes any of this worth it. If the angles were better, maybe. But I don't see that yellow on the button going anywhere.
Yeah, maybe. I'm also kind of... it all depends on how it bounces off, right?
Yeah, if it bounces high and comes out the T-line side, maybe. It's Cooey's never afraid of taking this kind of thing on, so we're gonna get a why not shot right now, which I love. This is why we love it.
And now we're gonna find out if it stuffs it or if it spins off. All right, here's another Cooey fireball. We got 2 of them out of 4 rocks so far, or not. All right, he was saying, get out of the way. I need to see this better. All right. We're set. We're going for peel down the middle. Yellow raise, yellow, red, yellow, triple, possibly quad. All right. Well, Tyler's not doing a too heck of a lot. Trying to get it over. Ooh, that was a way too thin. So that would be a Ramsfjell steal a 1 on a beautiful freeze unassisted, making it 3-0 after 2. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
40 people already. Well, welcome back, curling fans. We're rolling along nicely here in the third end. Martensville, Saskatchewan, Tier 2 Grand Slam Canadian Open, Cooey, Ramsfjell. Lots of action, lots of rocks. It's been great fun so far. My name is Gord Copperthorne. I'm here with Rory McCusker. He's doing all the magic, cameras, and color commentary. Quickly, we'll take a peek at other sheets. On sheet 1, we've got Warana versus Baldic. Warana getting 3 in the first end. Sheet 2, Nancy Martin's out to a 2-0 lead over Kayla McMillan. Sheet 3 is what we're on. Sheet 4, Xiaoming Zhu versus Takumi Maeda is a 2-1 match after 2 ends. So that's a tight one.
Ooh. Let's show off some cameras, Gord. They can't tell if this one's in the rings or not.
Biter bar.
So we're getting the biter bar.
Ooh, slides by. It is
oot.
It is a guard. And Tyler gives Aaron the yes, you're safe thumb of approval.
Yeah, 2-point lead is one thing. A 3-point lead, that is enough to start playing slightly differently, even though there's quite a few ends left.
I suspect you might take a few less risks, right?
3 kind of seems to be the magic number where you can kind of have 2 bad ends in a row and still be in a good spot. Like, meaning you can either give up 2 and get forced or give up 2 and give up a steal. You're still like tied or better with hammer no matter what. So that is enough of a lead to start playing slightly differently. So this one, instead of being a guard and then a come around, this was a top 4 or top 8 combo. So we already see the effect of the scoreboard affecting Team Ramsfjell's calls.
You might phrase it as, instead of going to earn points, you're now saying, okay, Cooey, you have to earn your own points.
For sure. Like just trying to get the opponent to play tougher shots is kind of a victory in itself.
And less guards is good, right?
That being said, you only have 3 points. You're not going to win a game with 3 points. You still got to keep putting points on the board when you have hammer, and just try to play with that lead in mind when you don't have hammer.
All right, so Cooey elects for the double corner, a fairly standard approach to being down several points. Bit surprised Magnus is going for the center guard. If I was up 3, I probably would want less guards than more and may have been inclined to just cut off that draw path. But what do I know? I'm not going to the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, ideal would be to do both. Like, if you get this kind of low, keep it a little higher. make the draw around the corners even more difficult while protecting your own. I think this is just a situation where he doesn't really have anything else to do. There's really nowhere else to go besides right here.
Yeah. You might see some play the out turn there into the kind of half 8 foot, but
unlucky spin and finish on that one.
That was a handprint kind of looking pick. That's too deep for a handprint, but yes, a really weird spin off. Cooey looking for a hit and roll. You might even get the back yellow one moving a little bit, but the primary target is the roll. Aaron playing the role of the 3-rock lead. Gets to throw the occasional hit. Got a little bit of moving to do. It's getting a bit on the thin side. All right, we're safe.
Yeah, not ideal. Keeps it in the rings. Gives an obvious move to Ramsfjell here.
The only, I suppose, upside is any return hit is below the tee line. Oh, got a little bit of a reset going here. Something under the rock or something along those lines. Bendick taking his time and restarting. As Rory pointed out earlier on, this is a timed match. You can just see the clock in the corner. So they can't waste too much time, and there is consequences. The ends have been fairly busy so far, but we are on thinking time, not running time.
Oh, it's the most beautiful thing in the universe. Clocks on the teams. Oh, the tours, it's one of the biggest issues on tour in my and many other opinion. These games are like 3 hours is becoming regular for an 8-end game on tour. So something's got to quit. Something's got to give. And I know we don't have the volunteers to run the clocks constantly. And you do have to have qualified volunteers. You can't just have anyone operating the clocks. And you know, it's an official business. You can't be having a lot of errors on that. But, I mean, having these games actually confined to a certain time frame, it makes them so much more entertaining for the viewer on so many different levels, including you get a little bit more tactical and strategy mistakes because the teams do feel the burn of the clock. And so you get more fun ends with technical gives and takes. Got to have clocks on the games as much as possible. I'd love to see more tour events scrounge together the volunteer force required to make that happen. I know it's tough.
If they continue to progress the Grand Slam Tour with their innovative and new approaches, then we may be so blessed as to have a stronger volunteer base and time clocks and those fun things. So hopefully it continues to grow and be successful. All right, so Tyler with a bit of an unforced error sliding deep into the house down to 4th shot if I got my counts correct. So Ramsfeld's got kind of a freebie here and electing to throw yet another guard onto the pile. He does have shut rock in the 4-foot, so there's an understandable upside to the guard. He could have peeled the red one and said, hey, I'm going to make you take one. But you know what? There's blood in the water too with this.
It's pretty nice. Can't run either of those back to rip the yellow on the top button. Quite ideal.
The only minor discomfort is if red does get one under there. Now your guards are their guards, something along those lines. Cooey looking to use an existing red. Other choices maybe come down and freeze, maybe small bump. It's fairly overburied, but you could freeze on it to set up a raise for 2. We are still early enough in the end that he could use a rock for a setup.
Interesting.
I'm not actually surprised by this because it opens up more opportunities on future shots because that rock's almost in their way. So looking for the slight angle raise to the can. Little thick. Did they get a piece? Not quite. A little too thick. And they didn't really substantively change that guard. So that yellow one's still protected on the wing.
Yeah, you don't have access to the tight red as well, which I'm sure is on Cooey's mind.
Yeah, that's kind of in the, again, wrong way to miss that one.
My instinct there was it was too early to try such a. Like,
that was where I
don't
was
even know
going with the idea of a corner freeze. Is, you know what, that one wasn't ever going to go away.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Ramsfjell looking to do the corner freeze I was picturing Cooey doing. Throw another one into the forefoot, increase the pressure. Not a huge port, but still enough room for what they're after. Oh, unforced error there. Didn't hurt them any.
Still looks better. Yeah, it looks better. It does open up that that tight red though a little bit. We could play his raise and roll on that right now if you wanted to. Still ignores the main problem, which is the rock on the top of the button. Totally buried.
Chipping that red one over did take a bit of that slash away that they just tried. It's now steeper and longer, but still there. Kind of feel like you should be saving that for later in the end, though, to your earlier point. I can't imagine Magnus is going to make a concerted effort to take that away right now. But he wants to try it again now. So, same shot, different angle.
Oop, missed it.
This is Tyler's second as middle thrower. And what do we got this time? It's
nailed it.
A little thin, but did get it off the can, so that's better. A little bit more curl, and he would have stuffed it under all those yellow guards, which is obviously what they were after. But
Kevin's asking if that rock moved. Let's see if we got it here.
And
okay.
Yeah, very much hit the boards. He's just saving that one for an extremely rainy day.
So no one saw the rock hit, so they're going to leave it up. There's no like Jumbotron in the arena or anything. So I'd be really interested to see if they end up using it later. Fully illegal stone.
You don't see that every day.
If you're in the Martensville area, run, don't walk to the arena and pull that stone, please.
All you fans in the background that are listening to us for commentary and watching the game, raise your hand and wave at the not officials.
No, just kidding. It happens pretty often. Thankfully, curling is a very fair play, sportsmanship based game. And
so Ramsfjell now looking for just a little flop to put his rock back on the top of the forefoot. Just a hair thick, but that's still really nice. And he kind of hit on it
too.
And he kind of hits dead aimed at that red one at the back, which at this point is fairly moot. The one upside for Kevin is they've gotten a lot of the forefoot back, whereas before the yellow was basically top button.
Yeah, pretty good wall to hide behind as well. None of those yellows will really be run backable once you get a red buried in there. Maybe that very center yellow, or maybe a chip off of the one in the rings, but you can get to a spot where you're pretty well safe from being removed.
And I would certainly be happy to be giving or forcing Magnus into those kinds of shots. So looking to become shot somewhere down in the top of the forefoot. You don't want to be so low that short slash is an option. That's interesting. Oh, to be a microphone on his chest right now.
Well, we've had microphones on his chest. He doesn't say too much, but maybe he'd tell us what he's thinking here. Yeah.
This kind of looks like maybe he's going to run that back to get rid of the yellow, roll his shooter over to kind of the top of the D and distributor, because then he'd be sitting 3.
Yeah, I've kind of been watching him.
Opportunity.
I've kind of been watching him set this up all game, actually. Or sorry, not all game, all end. Had his eye on this tight red. That's why it was always, getting rid of the high corner and keeping this in play. Because, this is a 2-for-1 kind of shot.
It does involve ignoring the current shot rock, but significantly jacks up pressure on Ramsfjell and gives you an opportunity for a big score. Tyler trying to hold it straight. Okay, or we're just going for... Yep.
Just missed it thick.
Yep.
That's all it was.
I question if he was actually trying to run that back into the yellow or not. He may just have been playing hit and roll onto the button.
Yeah, they were sweeping it for in off, for sure.
Yeah. Which is funny because he tapped his broom on the D of distributor a few times, but hey, that's all good. All right, Ramsfjell now looking to really stick it to him and draw the upper left side of the button as we're looking at it.
This will for sure make it real hard to score even one.
If you're 3/4 buried, half biting the top of the 4-foot, even, it's about where you want to get. No more than bite button, I would think. So this is Saskatchewan keeping it on track. Weight looks really good. Past the top one, walking it into the 4-foot. Bite top button.
Yeah, it's real good. Not sure how you score.
I'm sitting here trying to dream up wonderful, and I see that illegal rock coming in as an option.
What about playing like a bullet? Yeah, where Tardy, is there a kind of in-off triple on the yellows? That'd be pretty crazy.
Certainly possible. That other yellow will go sideways.
It almost looks like it jams, which would be so unfortunate. Maybe it goes over the top, like it stays above the tee line the whole time.
I would say all options are available on this one because there is enough space between those two that you can hit it high or low in a dead sideways perspective.
Well, I think there's two kinds of people watching this game. One fan that wants the game to go 8 ends, and one fan that wants to see this in off triple. Because I don't think you can have it both ways. This is you're either making this for 2, maybe 1, or you're missing it and it's basically game over. So
absolutely,
let it ride.
If he makes this, we may have to mail it into some kind of highlight reel show for the year because this will be one hell of a triple if he makes it.
Okay, gotta be sharp on the cameras is what you're saying.
All right, so we got fireball number 3 coming down here. We're going for flat, so you're going to be going with the, I guess that would be out turn.
You might have to get the gear action with the intern, though. I'm interested to see what turn he throws as well.
That's true enough. You might want to go low. Anyways, we're going for a cruise missile. Here we go. Fireball. Wants a thick chunk to get right on the dead side of the other yellow and too thin. Close, but too thin. Anticlimactic, great steal of 3. It is now a 6-0 lead for Ramsfjell going into the 4th. We'll be right back.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. TheRockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree. Come use us for real estate.
Hard to say. Welcome back, everybody. This is Sheet 3 action in Martensville, Saskatchewan, part of the Grand Slam Canadian Open Tier 2 bracket. Kevin Cooey's got a bit of a hole here. Ramsfjell up 6-0. Hasn't been a shortage of interesting curling, just a bit of some opportunities missed. Quickly walking other sheets, we have Xiaoming Zhu in a tie match with Takumi Maeda. Maeda with the hammer after 4. On the women's side, Oranik jumped out to a 5-2 lead over Baldic, but then she came back in third with a 2. So there's a bit of a gap, but room for opportunity. And then over on sheet 2, Nancy Martin has a 4-1 lead over Kayla McMillan, but she has hammer going in or playing through 4. So lots of close curling here today. Thanks again for everyone who's joining us. My name is Gord Coppathorne, coming to you with Rory McCusker on the cameras and the second mic. Little bit of a nobody quite knows what's up with Carrick. People are assuming sick, and I have no reason to argue. I've heard nothing other than the potential of not feeling super great, so that's all right. So yes, Aaron is throwing the first 3 rocks. We've got Tyler Tardy throwing the middle 3 rocks. For those of you keeping track, I have not made that mistake yet. And then, of course, Kevin in the house. They are playing, and that's something funky. Anyways, they're playing Magnus Ramsfjell of Norway, a contending Olympian team this year, which is super exciting that we get to watch them in a bit of a preview match. All right. Down 6-0. What are you doing, Rory? What would you be doing?
No, it looks like they're playing 2 centers with hammer. I've never really understood that strategy. I was told by smart people that that's what you do when you're down like 4 or more with not a lot of ends left. I've never seen it work out. I've also been told you play corners without hammer when you're down a ton. Same situation. I think it's just to put something in a different gear and get people, just anything you can do to tempt your opponent into ignoring or just playing the wrong shot. I don't know. Seems like a massively desperate move.
I can throw a whisker of color at it. So the old school day was you need corner guards to score more than 2, keep your 4-foot clean, yada, yada, yada. Since the advent of mixed doubles, playing around the center and managing angles with taps and freezes and promotions behind the tee line has been proving a different opportunity for scoring multiples. So that's a bit of why people are trying that. The theory, of course, being push their rocks under the tee line, get yours in front of theirs, and then have some cute shot for a multiple. I don't know which one works better, but I can understand both to a point. Anyways, I would say it's not looking brilliantly at the moment.
It's been an early end kind of advantage for Ramsfjell every end so far. Front end, putting the rocks in really good spots.
This is a little bit of what I was talking about. You can make a bigger wall to freeze and bump into when you're clustered in the 4-foot. So Cooey's looking to push this back 4 and just scooch over and partly under that guard. Got a little bit of love coming to us from the Ottawa region. Former teammates of mine listening and enjoying the action here this fine Tuesday afternoon. Well, there we go. Kind of as he spelled it out, a little farther and deeper than he was after, but he does have that opportunity growing. Magnus wisely saying no guards, no multiples.
Yeah, if being up 3 significantly changes your strategies, being up 6 really, really does. You just have your old like junior coach's voice in your head at this point, just like telling you throw hits. Like there's never get to. I know there's your mind's eye might see some juicy opportunity. No. Just keep banging things. Be patient. Your opponent will eventually have to push the play, and if you just kind of keep making the straightforward ones, you're going to win the game. So.
An old coach of mine once said, if ever you're not sure what I would say, turn around and let the scoreboard speak for me. This is a bit of that. And to your point, when you're up 6, it's not difficult decisions. It's they can't score if their rocks aren't in play, smash things. So Cooey was looking for kind of a nose bump and scatter, but he got it a bit thin there. So he got scatter, but he would have liked to have nudge those yellows in a bit of a flat wall. Ramsfjell wondering, which one do I want to remove?
Yeah, I mean, there is a double with not a ton of risk. I mean, yeah. I like
no reason not to try, right? Take out a red and see what comes of it.
Just don't want to jam.
Correct. So this is Martin Seneca's second rock. Looking to remove a red, possibly 2. No shortage of heat on this one. Ramsfjell B trying to walk it over. And stuffed it and left. Certainly an easy double.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Well, I'm going to pat myself on the back and say a little bit of I said something smart because that was kind of the point. Yellow's behind everything, and maybe you get lucky, but that was a very unnecessary error. Even with Peel, they managed to dead stuff it.
I'm just showing the Ramsfjell team in case our Norwegian audience can determine what they're talking about here, whether they thought the ice kind of fell on them a little bit there or whether Martin missed through that, but I don't know.
Their faces certainly show a bit of, I don't know what happened.
It's basically the only thing you couldn't do.
Correct. All right. If executed cleanly, there is a chance for 3. Still don't see more than that because they're just going to hit wide open reds anyway. Do you risk just scattering the yellows to keep more catchers?
Yeah, it depends if you're happy with 3 or not. I think I'd be happy with 3, so try to get rid of some yellows.
I'm just picturing dead nose, double, leave the yellow behind your shooter sort of a thing. 3 reds to 2 yellows.
We've got our cameras right down the center line. The broom's right down the center line. Let's see how Tyler Tardy throws this rock.
A little in out, like most of them. Aaron with the clean. Got to walk it over.
Nice.
Woo! Spilled the yellow a little bit more left than I think they were after. A little more nose would have been ideal.
Yeah.
No obvious doubles here, though. That's a pretty steep 45 on the left pair. That yellow one actually ended up in the way to a double on the right pair.
Yeah.
Sneaky little placement.
Yeah, it's. I think hitting and just rolling a half rock towards your yellow eliminates any kind of double. Yeah, they're talking about nose.
Remove a red. Yeah, I'd be remiss to roll too much towards sheet 2 or the left of Gauthier holding the broom. Just if you make that angle too steep, then you might be able to get to the low side of that yellow. So I think nose would be a good choice here. This is Magnus's first. Looking to control the damage. They gave a couple of mistakes back to Kevin. There you go. That's pretty steep. That double doesn't look too enticing. You kind of got to deal with one of the two, don't you?
Yeah, you're not down 2 or 3 anymore. You're down 6. So any shot to keep 3 alive needs to be considered.
I'm trying to picture if there's a way to freeze that deep yellow to make the double doable, but it's just so aimed at that red one. You're almost trying to figure out how to set up the most likely mistake on Ramsfjeld's behalf. This looks, well, hate to put words in Kevin's mouth. He's fooled me a couple times this game. This kind of looks like, do you hit and roll a little bit more in front of the yellow? Is that the theory here?
I don't think so. Yeah, and coming across the face of it is going to kind of pull the rock a little bit. You're not going to send it as far right, so you're buying more of a roll playing this turn, even though it's slightly more difficult.
Yep. Take out a yellow and hopefully induce a potential double. All right. Tyler escorting this one down. Not overthrowing. Looking for a little bit more curl out of this.
It's kind of hanging on the center line on him.
Yeah, a bit of a center peak perhaps. So that leaves Cooey sitting shot, but the back shot rock wide open. The other yellow is accessible. I don't know if this will make enough of an angle for a double on his last one, but I imagine Kevin will try if he can see enough of it. If Ramsfjell rolls under the red, maybe the run double is there.
Yeah, it'll bring it kind of lower. I don't see it for sure. This is, and basically you're letting him play it at that point anyway.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with nose or a half rock roll here.
Absolutely. All right, Magnus looking to remove Cooey's shot rock. Hopefully flip just a little underneath towards the center line. It's walking over nicely now. There's the hit. There's the half rock flop.
Jeez, did they put that in the only place that actually left the run double? I feel like if they kept that out a little outside more, it's not there.
I would certainly call it there. And it would be for 3 because you're almost straight back with it.
I don't get that. The further more inside you roll, the more kind of there this run double was. I feel like they just kind of kept it right there. Yeah, whatever. He's going to play it anyway. It's more fun for us, Scored.
Well, you can even roll farther because then at least the shooter would have rolled out because he has to do this with weight. Yeah. But anyways, they put it exactly where they, quote unquote, shouldn't have for a very hard shot.
Maybe a little, yeah. Maybe not the worst spot, but this might be there now.
All right, Cooey with the up weight. Run back cross house double. But a little bit offline. Oof. That's moins deux. 2 more on the board for Magnus Ramsfjell. That makes it 8-0 after 4 ends. We will see what they decide to do. And there we go. Decision has been made. Wow. That was an exciting, short little match.
It was.
Cooey wasn't that far off the mark with most of them, but just happened to keep giving up another slap to the wrist. But sometimes that's the way it goes. It is early in the week, and he's got plenty of opportunity to keep fighting it out here. So our Olympian friends, the Ramsfelds from Norway, come away with a 8-0 win over Cooey. I highly encourage you to walk over to any of the other 3 sheets that are going on. We got 2 ladies matches and a men's match still on the play. Please enjoy while you get the opportunity. On behalf of Rory McCusker and myself, Gord Coppathorne, thank you for joining us on Curling Stadium, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.